All right, so the last thing that we need to do for this section is finding the arc length and area of a sector with the given radius r and central angle theta. Okay, so just as a refresher, the arc length is S equals r theta. Theta must be in what?
Wait. Let me. Radians.
Theta must be in radians.
Oh, is this for the unit circle photo?
And no, you don't need it for this.
Oh.
And area is A is equal to 1/2 r squared theta. So if theta is not in radians, then you need to convert it to radians. So let's look at an example. Let's do 32 first. 32 r is equal to 4 inches, and just to keep in mind, we're given units, so our answers are going to have units on them, and theta is pi over 6.
That is in radians.
So it wants arc length and area. So arc length S equals r theta, so 4 times theta is pi over 6.
So what would you just like multiply?
Yeah. So S is equal to, and technically you would just type this in your calculator, so 4 times pi divided by 6.
So we can use our calculator on this section.
That's always a good thing. Wait, what does the S mean again? 2 plus 2.
Arc length.
Oh, okay.
And I'll also, I don't know if I showed it to you in the video, but I'll show you a modified form of area when you have, like, if you've already found arc length, so that it makes your life a little bit easier.
What will we do? You said 4 pi over 6.
4 times pi divided by 6.
4 times pi.
And you know there's a pi button on your calculator, right? Okay.
I got a decimal.
You will.
2.1.
2 decimal places.
Oh, 2.09.
And units are inches. So that's your arc length.
So we go to decimal.
Okay, now, really quickly, I'm going to show you if you've already found arc length. I'm going to give you a modified formula for area that just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, A is equal to 1/2 r times S, because S is r times theta. So if I did r times theta, I would have r squared times theta times 1/2. So if you've already found arc length, then you can just use that number, multiply by r, multiply by 1/2, and then you have your area. So I'm going to use the modified one. Area equals 1/2 times r, which is 4, times S, which is 2.09. What did you say?
4.18 inches squared.
Did you round correctly?
4.18.
There's only 2.
Yeah, there's only.
Oh, okay. Their answer, and the answer in the book is 1.9, so I was just wondering. But it's because they're probably not rounding, so we're good. That's why I was just asking if y'all rounded correctly. And then remember, area is units squared, so inches squared. So arc length is just going to be your units, area is your units squared.
Easy. Got it.
All right, let's do 34. So this one is going to have R is 15 centimeters, and then we're going to have that theta is 45 degrees. Now, obviously, from the unit circle, we do know what theta is in radians because we know 45 is a known value. However, if it were not that, we would need to do a conversion.
Like 95 degrees. What are you
yeah, you're just going to convert it to whatever. So I'm just going to show the conversion. I know that we know it off the unit circle, but let's say hypothetically we've forgotten what it is. Or you take your unit circle quiz and all you remember are the degrees and you don't remember the radians. You can convert them. It would just take you a very long time to convert them all.
Probably more than 25 minutes.
But you could do it. I mean, most of y'all finished in 10 minutes. So, like 10-ish minutes. So, you should be fine. You would have had 20 more minutes, theoretically, to have done it. So, 45 degrees. Okay, what's the conversion factor from degrees to radians?
Pi over 180.
Pi over 180. 45 goes into 180 how many times?
6. 4.
4.
I don't know, I was guessing.
45 and 45 is 90. 90 times 2 is 180.
That
So.
makes sense.
Oh, I wasn't.
I was guessing. I was just guessing. It's
And if you
incorrect.
also know your unit circle, you would know that it's going to give you pi over 4. Okay, but that way you just see a conversion, okay, and then also that way you know if you know your degrees on your unit circle, how you can find
I
your...
knew it was pi over 4, but I was just doing it wrong.
I was like, no, not that.
It's not that.
Alright, so then arc length, S equals R theta. So S is equal to 15 times. Now make sure, it's funny, sometimes I have people make the conversion and then still put the degrees in.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
Pi over 4 degrees.
No, like they'll put the 45 in even though they just found there.
Pi over 4 degrees?
Pi over 4 degrees. That would be a very, very small amount of degrees.
What should it specify?
In general, if you don't say the word degrees, we're talking about radians.
Well, you thought you said the word degree.
Apparently I said degrees.
Wow, that's all.
11.78 inches. Wait,
It's not inches.
centimeters. I was like, wait.
Man, his signs and his units.
I didn't write any units on my paper, so I was like, wait.
And then area is 1/2 RS. So 1/2. Also, you guys do know that 1/2 is the same as 0.5, right? In case you just want to multiply.
Yes.
Okay. I just, whatever. Just making
I
sure.
don't know, I just like to make
I
myself.
just like to make
I just
it
like my life. I just like to live my life.
Just, again, doesn't matter. Just making sure that we're aware of if you're typing it in the calculator. You can make your life a little easier, and then you don't have to worry about the issue of
Why won't my delete button
order of
work?
operations issues and whatever. Not that multiplication and division doesn't matter what order you do it in, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but. What'd you get?
88.35 centimeters squared. I got the same.
Wrong.
Yeah, you didn't put the unit, so you get a 0.
No points. You fail.
Wow.
All right.
Put the squared.
Are we okay on those?
Yes.
This is just
Yeah.
plugging it into a
That
formula.
was a lot easier than the notes made it sound.
Yes.
My brain just overcomplicates, like.
Yeah.
All right, so then for the evaluate the trig function using a calculator if necessary or giving the exact answer, okay, so like the sine of pi over 4 we did the other day is what?
Sine of pi over 4. Oh, it's radical 2 over 2.
Root 2 over 2, okay, so those you know off the unit circle, you can just write those ones down, and I expect that you just write them down and not give me a decimal for those.
Wait, so is sine like
Sine
the
is the x, and y is the cosine, and then that other number is the tangent.
Okay.
That third one is the tangent.
But if I gave you something like the secant of pi over 9,
Oh, okay. I can do this.
okay, and again, we're going to do 2 decimal places. Okay, secant is equivalent to what other trig function?
Sine, wait, cosine.
In what sense?
It's opposite.
Okay, so secant is 1 over the cosine of pi over 9. Now, on your calculator, I don't even know where mine is, to be 100% honest with you. Oh, I see it. You need to go on your calculator and verify. I think we did this last week, but you need to verify that your calculator is in Radian mode. So what you want to do is when you turn your calculator on, you're going to hit mode at the top. And then the third option down on that should say like radian or degree. You want the option highlighted that you're using. So you want it in radians for this one. And then you just hit second and then mode to get out of it. So then you're going to do 1 divided by the cosine of pi divided by 9. Close that parentheses. And then tell me what you get.
Do we have to close the parentheses?
Got 1.06.
I would just get in the habit of doing it because when we start doing other stuff with it, if you don't remember to do that, it'll throw your answer
Wait
off.
a minute.
1.06.
Wait.
Yep.
Now, just for the hypothetical, switch your calculator to degree mode and watch what happens if you put in the same thing.
I got them.
So hit mode and then put it back in degree mode. And then all you have to do, if this was the last thing you typed in your calculator, is just hit enter again. And look what happens to your answer if you leave it.
It's just one.
It's just one. Not the same answer.
I got 1.00001.
So again, not the same answer. So make sure you always check the mode
Why
that
is
you're
it
in.
different?
Okay, if you happen to in the future take like 2 classes with me and you're taking physics and another one of my math classes, for most other math classes, your calculator is going to be in radian mode almost the entire time. But for physics, we only use degree mode.
You must have got it like 2
So it's got to be,
have
you just got to keep up with what you're doing. So just get in the habit of always checking before you start. I'd really hate for you to start taking a quiz and you have it in degree mode and you get everything wrong because you did it in degree mode just because you forgot to check.
That's funny and sad at the same time.
So make sure you go put your calculator back in radian mode now so that you don't forget.
Okay. Guess I should.
All right, 44 we did the other day. The cosine of pi over 6 we said was root 3 over 2. Okay, if I was going to do cosecant, so for number 46, the cosecant of 4 pi over 15. What does cosecant pair with?
Sine.
Sine. So it's 1 over the sine of 4 pi over 15. So,
Ooh, I got this one. Where's the one? 1.35.
1.35. Okay, if you had cotangent, it would go with what?
The tangent. I don't know why I had the thing.
Okay, if you had cotangent of theta, that's the same as 1 over the tangent of theta. So just keep that in mind if you get a problem like that one.
So what are those numbers? Are they like degrees or are they just numbers?
It's just the value. So you know how like when I told you if you take the cos, or I'm just going to use sine of pi over 4 because that one's easy. You get the square root of 2 over 2. That's the y value of that. That's basically what this is telling you, is this is that value that you'd get out. So if you actually divided the square root of 2 over 2, it's like 0.707-ish.
Okay.
Then that's what the decimal would be telling you, basically. Just the value at that angle. Okay, so then I would like you to look at, let me see, I think I have them written down here, maybe. Somewhere.
I got 1.34.
Where did I stop assigning problems
What's
the
after
other
the
day? Where is it?
You saw that.
Alright, I want you to do, let's see, 33, 35, and 43 and 45.
So,
Okay.
do you want us to like resubmit our like